When we were growing up, nobody explained anything. We were just expected to understand the twists and turns of family life, the ties that seemed to grow more complicated year by year. My nan lived in a tiny workers' cottage next to a boot factory near the station. There always seemed to be a string of Koori cousins or aunties from the country dropping in for chat, looking for someone in their family. If I asked who they were, she would explain by telling me a roundabout story. She'd say, "Oh, that young cuz, I met up with his auntie the other day at Napa. Sent him out there to look for his mob." It was so confusing. I was never sure if they were real cousins, aunties or just friends. Living in Redfern, Nam seemed to know every Aboriginal passing through. It wasn't till years later that I learned the true story.
Man, I love my city with this many intricacies of this southern slang that complements my southern twang. See, when we speak, we create music from these round lips of blackness that tell the tales of what trap is, because secretly, we have always been trapped in. Urban unicorns whose magic reaches the masses that surpasses the constructs of their walls. Love the tricks, but never thanks the magician. Wow, you let that sink in. Trap music ain't nothing but a blues song to a beat. These beats ain't nothing but our heartbeats in this dirty South heat, communicating the joys and the struggles of being black in Jim Crow state. I was always told that it was my fate to stay black and die. So like 3-6 Mafia, I gotta stay high.
They have great advertisers famous for them, and I mean the thing is that for me, and I know it's the same for you with all this great conversation. I mean I'm starved. I'm so starved. That looks positively scrumptious. You know what that is? That's this thing that my friend was here the other night. She posted a picture on that She posted a picture of that on social media. Wait, let me just, I'll find this picture, and if I'll find it, and you can maybe help me decide. So decide if I want that or not. Like, it'd be fun, right? You can help me decide. Just show you a picture of this. You know, it helps with dining choices. It just helps with dining choices. It's amazing. But the thing is, it's a time suck, isn't it? It's just the thing is, it's total time suck. There's just too much information, too much irrelevant stuff, you know. But none of this is for me, you know. Just to order the food, and the thing is that I'm all about being fully present, being in the moment, communicating with the person that I'm with. Yeah. I'm so into where this relationship will go. I really am.
Seatbelt? Check. Mirror? Check. Clutch down. Start car. And I'm driving! We're moving, Leonard! We are driving! Okay, but I'm focusing. Off the accelerator. I'm a natural. You are a great teacher, Leonard. Let's give it some stick. Woo! Hi, Dad. I was just looking for the, some fresh air might be great.
Is stay positive, yet plan for the worst. The trick is, get the wills up to date. Thank God the insurance is. The trick is, when people say take it day by day, that's not a general guide, but a firm instruction. You're so exhausted, going hour by hour at times, minute by minute is quite literally all you can do. The trick is In the throes of it, when you actually wish you were dead but can't say that, the trick is think far, far into the future. So far you leave all this racking pain behind. The trick is let go. Stop fighting. Allow your body to simply be on days like today. Feel the hot sun melt your bones as you lie bedbound in dark, cool sheets.
So he would have to squint at me from across the living room, straining to see me through a pall of disappointment and resentment. You see this, Mother? He would call out to the other room, speaking about me as though I was a mysterious stain on the wall. What am I looking at here? I'd stash myself away in their walk-in room, amongst Mother's other forgotten things, just to get a break from being squinted at. I could hear them downstairs, talking in urgent tones, so I squished my little face into the skirts of my mother's dresses, feeling the soothing coolness of cotton, polyester, rayon.
My son, you are part of the river protectors, protecting Mirijopa, that holy water. To us, water is life. Your grandmother, our grandmother, she fought for us.
One day, she awoke, feverish, infected by the blankets that were given as a gift. Smallpox, just one of many ravishing diseases that had taken many protectors' lives. She had awoken to her and many other infected family members left behind by the tribe. Not because they wanted to, but in order for them to keep our ancestry alive, to survive, they had to leave. She knew this is why she was left, but she made sure she would not succumb to the inevitable. Even though feeling defeated, she was still resilient.
It was a heavy silk and made a swishing sound when it pulled it out of the box. It was so tiny, but with lots of petticoats underneath and beautiful pearl buttons up the back. There was another box. It contained the tiara. I could hardly wait to wear it. It felt so beautiful next to my skin as Mum did the pearl buttons up slowly, one by one. She brushed my hair till it shone and carefully positioned the tiara on my head. Then she called out to Pa to come and have a look. When he saw me, the biggest smile cracked open on his face, a smile we hadn't seen since Gran had died. He said he was sure Gran would be looking down and smiling. They left, and I shut the door and twirled around and imagined how I could hear the old-fashioned music as I walked down the aisle with Pa in my arm. Mum and Dad smiling and crying and taking millions of photos while we curtsied to the mayor and his wife.
I forgot my book in my locker, Mr. Evans. Can I go get it? Strolling down the empty school hallway, there's only the faint echo of my footsteps. I wear saddle shoes because I hope to be a cheerleader next year. Mr. Miller, my math teacher, is a bit of a barrier. He is friends with my gym teacher, the cheerleading coach. I'm not a cheerleader this year. I cannot be a cheerleader until I act better in this class. She won't even let me try out. She likes me. I'm special to her. She just can't let the class clown on the squad. It sets a bad precedence. I understand.
It's a pretty deadly thing to have. But I don't want it. I'm fighting like hell to get rid of it. It arrived unannounced and uninvited not long after my 70th birthday. I was confused when I discovered I had it because, being a baby boomer, I had always felt different, special in a way. But still, I was continually walked into on footpaths and pushed out of the way in supermarkets, and even bumped as I waited in line at a bank or shop. And then it hit me. I had become invisible. But I'm not. I don't want this superpower of invisibility. I'm still here. Fighting it was becoming exhausting, so I thought the best thing for me to do was to go back on country for a while. I knew I needed to get out of the city. Hey, Bub, get that fire there going good. I want a cuppa. What's these leaves in my tea, Bub? I don't want them. Get me another one, this time with honey. Where's them Johnny cakes? The coals are good. Get 'em on quick. Don't leave 'em too long. They'll burn. Yeah, Auntie was at me like a boss. Big respect, I say.
Bessie is the story. Remember that. Bessie was a widow with a near endless supply of funds, no husband to answer to. She outranked her parents who depended on her for their largesse. She listened to only herself, and when she did listen to men, they stole her money. Bessie was right in the heart of the 1920s, and she became the tie-tie of the Chinese community. Need a loan? Ask Bessie. Needed your husband to be brought back into line? Ask Bessie, she would see to it. First woman in the town to drive a motorcar? Bessie. First woman to openly take lovers and still tell the future Bishop Tung Yip of North Queensland to go home and change his shirt before he played with her son.
You see, my body is actually strong and resilient. But the world has draped her in this shame. And that's all I can feel when I exhale. You see, every time I inhale, I feel the actuality of my body, the strength and the resilience. And then as soon as I exhale, it feels like this shame the world has veiled me with weighs 1 million pounds, and it sits in the middle of my chest, and I can't